Hello, sweet people, and welcome to our continuing adventures in milk bread. Today we're going to make FRANZBRöTCHEN, which is a mouthful because it's German. Remember that all of these recipes use the same base dough, which is milk bread. So click on that link and it'll take you to Red Star Yeast site where you will get both the recipe and a full video tutorial of how to make the dough. Now the one difference in FRANZBRöTCHEN dough is that you make it all the way through, but you only mix it for 5 minutes because you don't want to completely develop that gluten yet, because we're going to be doing a lot of rolling, a lot of shaping that will get it up to snuff. But if you do it all at once, it'll be too hard to roll out. Now I've made that dough, it's chilling, and in the meantime I'm going to make the butter block because this is a laminated dough. We're going to create layers of dough, butter. So we have to do an independent little butter dough block that's going to fit in between our little pieces of milk bread. So what I've done is I have 2 sticks of European butter. That's a high fat content butter. And it is at room temperature, and I have 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour in here as well. And if it's at a decent room temperature, you can just mix it up so that it's nice and smooth. And then once it's nice and smooth, I'm going to transfer it to my parchment. So this is a half a piece of parchment that I have folded to make a 9 by 6 inch little block. And I'll open it up and I'm going to spread the butter into right here. That's 9 by 6, so I'm going to keep the butter in that little area, doing my best. And I'm just going to spread a little. I'm going to fold this over, fold it again. So it's good to pre-fold so that you know where you want to go, and then cover it with plastic wrap. I'm going to settle this on top and cover it again because we'll be rolling out the butter and we don't want it squirting out. And I keep it close to the actual shape of the package. Turn it around, rolling pin, and you can still see the butter through, which is very convenient because you want to make sure that it gets into all the corners. And you want to see it go right into that corner. Boop! Perfect. Turn it around, do it on all 4 corners. All 4 corners. Now once you know that they're all filled, take just a little time to even out the block so that it is of even depth. And then I'm going to refrigerate it and take out the dough so they get to the same temperature. Into the refrigerator, 10 minutes. First, take a look at how shaggy this dough is. Underdeveloped dough is key for this. Now, spray your work surface with flour and get your dough out. Look how shaggy. Sprinkle it on top. Sprinkle on my pin. And we're going to roll it into a 9 by 12 rectangle. Always making sure that it's not sticking. You can use your fingers to shape it. 12 in length. And we are there. You know it's cold enough when it just tears away and it's bending without breaking, so it is still warm enough to work. Now we're just going to make sure sticking out. And this is called the lock-in. And now we literally lock in the butter into the 2 pieces of dough. So it's laminated dough, butter dough, and locked in. You can see this is incredibly shaggy because it's underdeveloped. And each time I roll it and fold it, it will get smoother and smoother. Now we're going to do the first fold and rolling it into a 20 by 12 rectangle, which at this stage should be relatively easy to do because it's very relaxed, because it hasn't been fully developed. with gluten because we're developing it even more as we roll it. And now we're going to do a single fold or a letter fold. We're going to fold it into thirds like a letter, brushing off any excess flour. Oh, see, try it again. Boop. Now I'm going to cover it with some plastic wrap completely so it doesn't form a skin and refrigerate for 20 minutes. Put the short side facing your belly. Cover completely, refrigerate for 20 minutes, and do it again. The dough block has been resting in the fridge for 2 hours. I'm going to cut it in half and work with it in halves. I'm going to refrigerate the second block of dough, cover it well in plastic wrap, and I'm going to roll this block into a 13 by 13 square. Spray with nonstick spray for glue. And I'm going to cover this square with cinnamon and brown sugar. Each square gets 3/4 cup of brown sugar mixed with 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. After you press, we're going to start rolling. So I go from this end and I pull, tuck, pull, tuck, pull, tuck. Lovely. Cut it in half. Cut that in two. Make sure you cut that too. Take a wooden spoon. This one is really handy dandy because it has this little wax end, so it's non-stick. You'll take one of your buns, you'll take your wooden spoon, and you will press onto the bun lengthwise. And now you take your palms and you press those sides that have just come up, and you know you've done it right when it looks like an owl. Do that with the rest of them. Take that second piece of dough out, do exactly the same thing, and you'll have 12 FRANZBROTCHEN. You'll then cover them all in plastic wrap and let them proof in a warm room, but no warmer than 80 degrees, and they should look exactly like this. You want to see the layers have separated, and once they look like this and they jiggle, you bake them at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes or until they're golden brown.